Good morning, dear students. Let us move on to our next session, that is regarding the oxy acids of halogen. Oxy acids of halogens. That means these oxy acids, it will be having halogen atom. Halogen atom normally it is represented by X, isn't it? X represents fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. Then oxy acids means it will be having an oxygen atom, isn't it? So this oxy acids will be having both halogens as well as oxygen atom along with a hydrogen. Okay, so these combinations will be called as oxy acids. So the different chemical composition or the different ratios in which these elements get combined together to form compounds, they are called as the oxy acids. That means it will be having halogen atom, oxygen atom and hydrogen atom. So you have to study for different for different compounds of this oxy acids. And the first compound, that is HOX. HOX, that means hypohalous acids. HOX is hypohalous acids. Then the second one, the second compound, that is HXO2. HXO2. Then the third compound is HXO3 and the fourth compound is HXO4. So these are the four compounds: HOX, HXO2, HXO3 and HXO4. HOX it is called as hypohalous acids. Then HXO2 it is called as halous acids. HXO2 they are called as halous acid. Halous acids. Then HXO3 is halic acids. HXO3 are halic acids. And the last one, that is HXO4, it is perhalic acids. Perhalic acid. Okay. So these are the different compounds: HOX, HXO2, HXO3 and HXO4. Okay. Hypohalous, halous acids, halic acid and perhalic acid. Okay. So we can go through the oxidation state of each of these compounds. See, for HOX, see, hydrogen it is having +1 oxidation state, plus oxygen it is having -2 plus halogen. So what is the oxidation state of halogen that you have to calculate? Therefore X is equal to 1 minus 2, that is -1. Therefore see, in this compound halogen will be having +1 oxidation state, right? X will be having +1. Then the second compound, halous acids. See, in halous acid hydrogen +1 plus X for halogen. Then for oxygen it is -2. For 2 oxygen it is -4. That will be equal to 0. Therefore what is X? 1 minus 4 is -3. So therefore X is equal to +3 in this compound. Oxidation state of halogen, it is +3 in halous acids. Then in the case of halic acid it is +1 plus X, then -2 into 3, that is -6, that is equal to 0. Therefore X is equal to 1 minus 6, that is -5. Here it becomes X is equal to +5. So in this compound halogen will be having +5 oxidation state. And again in this case perhalic acid, +1 plus X, then -2 into 4, that is -8 is equal to 0. Therefore X is equal to 1 minus 8 -7, that is X is equal to +7. So for perhalic oxidation state of halogen it is +7. Okay. So this is how you have to find out the oxidation states of any of the compounds which is given. Okay. Then the next one, we can go through each compound. That is, the first one we can go through this HOX. That is hypohalous acid. Hypohalous acid. See, here I had already told you this X represents, X can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine and iodine. So here X, F, Cl, Br and I. So we can write the compounds, that is HO, I am writing HOF, then HOCl, then HOBr and HOI. Okay. That is hypohalous acids, isn't it? And in this, among these compounds, HOF it is a colorless compound. HOF, it is a colorless compound and also a colorless gas. Okay, HOF is a colorless gas and also it is highly unstable. Highly unstable means it is highly reactive or it will not be existing. So this HOF, it is a colorless gas and is highly unstable. Then in all these compounds, what about the oxidation state of halogens? Halogens will be in +1 oxidation state, isn't it? In all these compounds, halogens is in +1 oxidation state that we had already discussed. Halogens will be in +1 oxidation state. And also normally these hypohalous acids, they are usually unstable. Okay, these compounds, they are usually unstable and also they will be in the liquid form or they will be in solutions. In the liquid form, or we can say that they will be in solutions. And then the next one, we can go through the preparation of this hypochlorous acid, HOCl. Okay, preparation of HOCl, hypochlorous acid. So for the preparation of this hypochlorous acid, it is mixed with mercuric oxide. Mercuric oxide, the formula is HgO. Mercuric oxide, and it is mixed with chlorine. Chlorine is a gas, so 2 HgO plus 2 Cl2 plus water. So this will be in solution. So when these three gets reacted, the major product will be hypochlorous acid, 2HOCl, hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid plus HgO dot HgCl2, mercury chloride. Okay, mercuric oxide dot mercury chloride. So this is the method of preparation of HOCl, that is when HgO is mercuric oxide, isn't it? When mercuric oxide, when it is mixed with chlorine in the presence of water, we will be having this hypochlorous acid. Hypochlorous acid, that is HOCl. Okay, so this is the method of preparation. Then normally these hypohalous acids, they are weak acids. Hypohalous acids are weak acids, and also while with the increase in the number of halogen atoms, or as the number of halogen increases, what happens to the reactivity or the acid strength? The acid strength decreases. With the increase in the number of halogen atoms, the acid strength decreases. Okay. With the increase in the, not with the increase in the number, with increase in the size of the halogen atom. That means increase in the size of halogen means fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine. So down the group means the size increases. So while reaching iodine, what happens? The acid strength decreases. Okay. That means this fluorine atom or the fluorine atom or hypochlorous acid will be the most reactive. Then coming downwards, what happens? The acid strength decreases. Okay, so we can write it as HOCl will be greater than HOBr, acid strength will be greater than HOI, hypochlorous acid, hypobromous acid and hypoiodous acid. Okay. So the acid strength decreases in this order. Hypochlorous acid will be having maximum acid strength. Hypochlorous acid will be having the maximum acid strength. Okay. And also the same order is in the case of thermal stability also. Thermal stability also decreases in the same order. Thermal stability also decreases in this order. Okay. That means just like HOCl, HOBr, HOI. So for both the cases, for acid strength and for thermal stability, the order will be the same. Okay. For acid strength also, this is the order. For thermal stability also, this is the order. Okay. HOCl greater than HOBr greater than HOI. And also the least stable one will be HOI among these three. Okay. And again, the salt of this hypohalous acids, salt of hypohalous acid means HOCl, and the salt means this hydrogen will be replaced by any other metal atom, isn't it? So if this hydrogen, it is replaced by sodium, it becomes Na ClO, isn't it? One of the hydrogens, it is replaced by sodium. Okay, so we can say that NaClO, and this compound is sodium hypochlorite. Sodium hypochlorite. Okay, and also the salt of these hypohalous acids, they are called as hypohalites. Hypohalites. Salt of hypohalous acids, they are called as hypohalites. Okay, so this is another important point to be noted down. Hypohalites. NaClO or KClO. KClO means it is potassium hypochlorite. KClO, potassium hypochlorite. Okay, so this is about the hypohalous acids. Then the next one, we can go through the next category, that is the halous acids, HXO2. Okay, halous acids. Second category, HXO2, that is halous acids. Halous acids. The common one among these halous acids, that is HClO2. HClO2. Okay, HClO2 means, what is the name of this compound? Chlorous acid, isn't it? Chlorous acid, HClO2. Chlorous acid, HClO2. This is the most common one, chlorous acid. Okay, and also this is also a weak acid, and also, but it is stronger than HOCl, hypochlorous acid. Okay, weak acid, but comparing with HOCl, this HXO2 will be more stronger. And also, what about the oxidation state? We had discussed it in this category of compounds, it will be having +3 oxidation state, right? So it will be having +3 oxidation state. +3 oxidation state. Then the next is method of preparation. So here this is prepared by treating barium chloride with sulfuric acid. Barium chloride, ITE, barium chloride plus sulfuric acid, H2SO4. Okay, barium chloride, the formula is barium is Ba, chloride ClO2 twice. Since barium has got +2, ClO2 will be having 1 negative charge. So it will be balanced by Ba, ClO2 twice. Okay, barium chloride plus sulfuric acid, giving this halous acid or chlorous acid, 2 molecules of HClO2 plus barium sulfate. HClO2 plus barium sulfate. Okay. Then some of the decomposition reactions. This is barium chloride. Okay, barium chloride plus sulfuric acid giving chlorous acid. You have to write down the names of the compound in the equation itself. Okay, chlorous acid. Then the next is some of the decomposition reactions of this. Decomposition reactions of this chlorous acid. Okay. So chlorous acid, the formula is HClO2. So 5 molecules of HClO2, it will be decomposing to give 4ClO2 plus H plus Cl minus plus 2 molecules of H2O. This is one of the product. Okay, HClO2 decomposes to ClO2. Okay, then the next one, then again 3 molecules of HClO2 will be decomposing to give 2ClO3 minus plus Cl minus plus 3H plus. ClO3, it will be decomposing to ClO3 minus, or we can say that it is HClO3, isn't it? HClO3. Then again 1 molecule of HClO2, it will be decomposing to Cl minus plus O2 plus H plus. So this HClO2 will be decomposing to Cl minus plus O2 plus H plus. Then this HCl, the salt of this HClO2, that is, for example, if this hydrogen, it is replaced by sodium, the compound is NaClO2, isn't it? This NaClO2, it is called as sodium chloride. NaClO2, it is called as sodium chloride. Okay, so this is the salt of HClO2, isn't it? Salt of HClO2, it is sodium chloride. So it is generally called as chlorides. Chlorides. Generally called as chloride. So these are some of the decomposition reaction. See here, one negative charge is there. Okay, 4ClO2 minus. Here it is ClO3 minus. Then here it is Cl minus. Okay. In your textbook, there is no negative charge. You have to put the negative charge also. Okay. So these are some of the decomposition reactions, and the salt of this chlorous acid, they are called as chlorides. Then we can move on to the next compound, that is halic acid, HXO3. Halic acid, HXO3 halic acid. See here, three types of halic acids are there, that is chloric acid, that is HClO3, then bromic acid. What will be bromic acid? HBrO3, bromic acid, HBrO3. Then the third one, that is iodic acid. Iodic acid is HiO3. Iodic acid is HiO3. See here, among these compounds, this iodic acid is a stable one, and the other two are not so stable. Okay, not very stable. Iodic acid is a stable one, and also the other two, they will be existing in the liquid form, or they will be existing in the solution, while iodic acid, it will be a white solid. Iodic acid is a white solid. Okay, iodic acid is a white solid. Then the salt of this halic acid, salts of halic acid, they are called as halates. HALATES, halates. Salt of halic acid, they are halates. Then for example, HClO3, instead of hydrogen, any one of the metal will be introduced. Then we can write, if it is barium, it will be barium chlorate, BaClO3 twice, barium chlorate. Barium chlorate. Okay. Then the next one, that is the method of preparation. Method of preparation. See here, this is prepared by treating barium halides. We had already seen barium chlorate with sulfuric acid. Okay, so the method of preparation by treating barium chlorate with sulfuric acid. Barium chlorate with sulfuric acid, that is BaClO3 twice plus sulfuric acid, giving 2HClO3, that is chloric acid, HClO3 plus barium sulfate, BaSO4. This is chloric acid. Chloric acid plus barium sulfate. Okay. That is barium chlorate plus sulfuric acid giving chloric acid plus barium sulfate. Then the next compound, the preparation of this iodic acid. Iodic acid, this is the first one, this is the second one. Iodic acid, it is prepared by treating fuming nitric acid. Fuming nitric acid. Fuming nitric acid means it is prepared by treating concentrated sulfuric acid with starch. When concentrated sulfuric acid, when it is mixed, concentrated nitric acid, when it is mixed with starch, concentrated nitric acid, when it is mixed with the starch and it is kept overnight, it will be converted to fuming nitric acid. Okay, it will be converted to fuming nitric acid, just for your information. So here, fuming nitric acid, it is treated with iodine. fuming nitric acid, it is treated with iodine. So we can write the reaction iodine plus 10 molecules of HNO3, that is fuming nitric acid. Fuming nitric acid giving 2 molecules of iodic acid, HiO3, 2 molecules of HiO3 plus 10 NO2, nitrogen dioxide, plus 4 H2O. Okay, so this is iodic acid, HiO3, iodic acid. So the preparation of iodic acid from by the reaction between fuming nitric acid and iodine, we will be having iodic acid plus 10 molecules of nitrogen dioxide plus water molecules. Okay, again this halic acids, they are strong acids. Halic acids are strong acids and also they are good oxidizing agents. They are good oxidizing agents. Okay, so this is about this halic acid HXO3. Then we can move on to our next compound, that is perhalic acids. Perhalic acids. What is the formula? HXO4. Perhalic acid. So among these perhalic acids, HXO4 means it will be HClO4, then HBrO4, then HiO4. Okay, perchloric. This is perchloric acid. Perchloric acid. This is perbromic acid. Can you see this? Perbromic acid. And this is periodic acid. Periodic acid, perchloric acid, perbromic acid and periodic acid. Can you see what I have written? Perchloric, perbromic and periodic acids. See, among these, perbromic acid, it is less stable. Perbromic acid is less stable. The other compounds are commonly seen. Okay, perbromic acid is less stable, so it is not there. Then we can go through one by one, that is perchloric acid and periodic acids, HClO4 and HiO4. Okay, first of all we have to go through HClO4. HClO4, it is perchloric acid. Perchloric acid. So first is the method of preparation as usual. Method of preparation, it is prepared by heating potassium perchlorate. By heating potassium perchlorate. Prepared by heating potassium perchlorate with sulfuric acid. Heating potassium perchlorate with sulfuric acid plus heat at low pressure. Low pressure of 10 to 20 torr. Torr is a unit of pressure, right? So at 10 to 20 torr. Okay. So the reaction, it will be like this. Potassium perchlorate, the formula is KClO4. KClO4 plus H2SO4 giving HClO4, that is perchloric acid, HClO4 plus KHSO4. KH plus KHSO4. Potassium hydrogen sulfate. This is potassium hydrogen sulfate. Potassium hydrogen sulfate. This is perchloric acid. Perchloric acid. Okay, potassium perchlorate plus sulfuric acid plus heat at a low pressure of 10 to 20 torr. Okay, so this is the reaction. Then the next one, second method of preparation. By distilling by distilling chloric acid under reduced pressure. By distilling chloric acid under reduced pressure. Chloric acid, the formula is HClO3. HClO3 on distillation under reduced pressure, it will be converted to HClO4 plus 2O2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. HClO4 plus 2O2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. Okay, so this is how perchloric acid is prepared. This is perchloric acid, HClO4. Perchloric acid. Okay. Then the next is properties. First of all, we have to go through some of the physical properties. Perchloric acid, it is a colorless liquid. Then gradually it turns to dark color. Colorless liquid gradually turning to dark color. Then boiling point, it is about 90 degrees Celsius. Boiling point 90 degrees Celsius. And also in moist air. Moist air means it will be containing some moisture. In moist air, it will be producing fumes. Okay, in moist air it will be producing fumes. And also perchloric acid, it is a strong acid. Perchloric acid is a strong acid. Then it will be reacting with zinc. So the reaction with zinc plus perchloric acid, that is HClO4, giving, so 2 molecules of HClO4, we will be having zinc perchlorate, ZnClO4 twice. In your textbook 2 is not written. ZnClO4 twice, zinc perchlorate plus hydrogen. So hydrogen gas will be liberated in this reaction. This compound is zinc perchlorate. Okay, hope you understood. Regarding the properties of perchloric acid, it is a colorless liquid gradually turning to dark color. Boiling point is 90 degrees Celsius. In moist air, usually it will be fuming. And also perchloric acid is a strong acid. Then reacts with, it will be reacting with a zinc or iron. It will be reacting with zinc or iron to give corresponding zinc perchlorate or iron perchlorate. And also it liberates hydrogen. Okay. Then the next compound, periodic acids. So this much about perchloric acid. Then the next is periodic acid. Periodic acid. The formula is HiO4. Periodic acid. HiO4. See, normally there are 4 types of periodic acids. The first one is HiO4, that is metaperiodic acid. Metaperiodic acid. That is the first one. Then the second one, metaperiodic acid, HiO4. Then the second one, that is H4I2O9. H4I2O9. This compound, that is dimesoperiodic acid. Dimesoperiodic acid. H4I2O9. Dimesoperiodic acid. Okay. Then the third compound, that is H3IO5. H3IO5. This compound is mesoperiodic acid. Mesoperiodic acid, H3IO5. And the fourth compound, that is H5IO6. H5IO6, that is paraperiodic acid. Paraperiodic acid. So metaperiodic, dimeso, meso and paraperiodic acid. So among these compounds, you have to study this metaperiodic acid and also paraperiodic acid. Okay, that is HiO4 and H5IO6. Okay. HiO4, I am writing the two compounds, HiO4, then H5IO6. Then you have to calculate the oxidation states of iodine in both of these compounds. So in the first compound, hydrogen, it is having +1. For iodine, we are putting it as X. Then plus oxygen, -2 into 4 -8, that is equal to 0. Therefore, what is X? 1 minus 8 minus 7, so it will be +7 oxidation state iodine, isn't it? Then for the next compound, +1 into 5, that is +5, plus X, then -2 into 6, isn't it? So that is -12, that is equal to 0. Therefore, X is equal to 5 minus 12, that is -7. So therefore, X is equal to again +7. So in both these compounds, iodine, it is in the +7 oxidation state. In both these compounds, iodine will be in the +7 oxidation state. Okay. Hope you had written up to this. Then the next one, we can go through the first compound, that is metaperiodic acid, that is HiO4. Metaperiodic acid, that is HiO4. Metaperiodic acid, HiO4. First of all, the method of preparation of metaperiodic acid. So this metaperiodic acid, it is obtained by heating paraperiodic acid. By heating paraperiodic acid. Para, I am writing it as P. You have to write it completely. It is para, not P. It is paraperiodic acid. Okay. So paraperiodic acid, the formula is H5IO6, isn't it? This is paraperiodic acid. Paraperiodic acid, on heating up to 100 degrees Celsius, we will be having metaperiodic acid HiO4 plus 2H2O. HiO4 plus 2H2O. Then again, in an acid medium, what happens is that this metaperiodic acid, it will be dissociating as H plus and IO4 minus. That means HiO4 in acid medium. In acid medium, or this metaperiodic acid, it is a weak acid, isn't it? So it will be ionizing as H plus and IO4 minus. Okay. It will be dissociating as H plus and IO4 minus. And also it is a strong oxidizing agent. Strong oxidizing agent in acid medium. Strong oxidizing agent in acid medium. And again, the reaction with water, that is HiO4. Reaction with water. HiO4 plus 2H2O giving H5IO6. HiO4 plus 2H2O giving H5IO6. This compound, it is paraperiodic acid. Paraperiodic acid. Okay. And also the salt of these compounds, the salt of paraperiodic acid, they are called, the salt of metaperiodic acid, it is called as metaperiodides. Salts of metaperiodic acid. Metaperiodic acid, they are called as metaperiodides. Metaperiodides. Okay. So this much about this compound metaperiodic acid. You have to study the preparation, that is just heating this paraperiodic acid at 100 degrees Celsius. Then the reaction with water, it will be giving back this paraperiodic acid. Okay. Then the next compound, that is paraperiodic acid. Paraperiodic acid. That is H5IO6. Para-periodic acid H5IO6, or it can be written as HiO4 dot H2O. It is a hydrated salt. Okay, well, this is the water of crystallization or water of hydration. So HiO4 dot 2H2O, or it can be written as H5IO6. First of all, we have to go through the preparation of this compound. Preparation. See here, the preparation, it is by passing a stream of chlorine gas to an iodine solution. Chlorine gas, it is passed over iodine solution in the presence of excess NaOH. Chlorine gas, it is passed through iodine solution in the presence of excess NaOH. We will be getting a white precipitate of para-periodic acid, or its sodium salt. We will be having the sodium salt of this para-periodic acid. So please write down the equation: 7Cl2 plus I2 plus 18 NaOH. 7Cl2 plus I2 plus 18 NaOH giving 2Na2H3IO6 plus 14 NaCl plus 6H2O. Okay, so this chlorine gas, it is passed over this boiling iodine solution plus sodium hydroxide, excess NaOH, to give giving Na2H3IO6. See here, we have got the compound H5IO6, isn't it? That is para-periodic acid, H5IO6. So here, instead of two atoms of hydrogen, 2 sodium atoms are there, isn't it? So two hydrogens are replaced by 2 sodium atoms. So it becomes Na2H3IO6. That is the difference between these two compounds, H5IO6 and Na2H3IO6. 2 hydrogens are replaced by 2 sodiums. Okay. So this compound, it is called as sodium. How many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. So it is sodium trihydrogen. Para. It is a salt, isn't it? So para-periodate. It is salt of para-periodic acid. So it is para-periodate. Okay. Sodium trihydrogen, or you can write it as disodium trihydrogen para-periodate. So this is the compound formed, and this compound, it is a white precipitate. This Na2H3IO6, it is a white PPT. Okay. So this is the reaction. Then again, this white precipitate, when it is treated with AgNO3, silver nitrate, we will be having, when treated with silver nitrate, we will be having a black precipitate. A black precipitate of silver para-periodate is obtained. Silver para-periodate is obtained. Okay. When this white precipitate, it is treated with silver nitrate, we will be obtaining a black precipitate of silver para-periodate. So please write down the equation also. First of all, write this compound Na2H3IO6, that is disodium trihydrogen para-periodate, plus 5 molecules of AgNO3. 5 molecules of AgNO3 giving Ag5IO6. So this is the compound silver para-periodate. Okay, Ag5IO6. It is silver para-periodate plus 2 molecules of sodium nitrate, NaNO3. Sodium nitrate, NaNO3 plus 3 molecules of HNO3. Okay, so this is the reaction. Hope you are clear. This disodium trihydrogen para-periodate, it is treated with silver nitrate. It is treated with silver nitrate. So the formed compound will be a black precipitate of silver para-periodate plus sodium nitrate plus nitric acid. Okay. Then again, to this silver para-periodate, chlorine gas is passed. Okay, so chlorine gas is passed through this black precipitate or black precipitate. So we will be obtaining para-periodic acid. Okay, so that is the last step. So I am writing the equation. Ag5IO6, that is the silver para periodate, 4 molecules plus 10 Cl2. Chlorine gas is passed over the solution. It is a solution, therefore water will be there, giving 4 molecules of H5IO6. H5IO6, that is para periodic acid. Para periodic acid plus 20 AgCl plus 5O2. Okay, so this is the reaction. So the compound is obtained, para periodic acid. So here 3 steps are there. You have to study the method of preparation. Okay, then the next is coming to the properties. So this para periodic acid, it is a colorless crystalline solid. Colorless crystalline solid. Colorless crystalline solid. Then readily soluble in water. Readily soluble in water. Then alcohol and also ether. Readily soluble in water, alcohol and ether. Then strong monobasic acid. Strong monobasic acid. Monobasic acid, strong monobasic acid. Okay, then the next is some of the reactions of this compound, para periodic acid. Okay, so first of all, para periodic acid, that is H5IO6, 2 molecules, on heating up to 138 degrees Celsius. On heating to 138 degrees Celsius, we will be having I2O5, that is iodine pentoxide. Iodine pentoxide plus 5 molecules of water plus oxygen. Iodine pentoxide, 5 water plus oxygen. Then the next reaction, when this para periodic acid, when it is heated to 80 degrees Celsius, that is 2H5IO6, when it is heated to 80 degrees Celsius, 3 molecules of water will be eliminated and we will be having H4I2O9. What is this compound H4I2O9? Already written at the start of this periodic acid. This compound is dimesoperiodic acid, isn't it? This is dimesoperiodic acid. Dimesoperiodic acid. Again on heating to 100 degrees Celsius. This compound again on heating to 100 degrees Celsius. 1 molecule of water will be eliminated to form metaperiodic acid. 2 molecules. 2 molecules of metaperiodic acid. Metaperiodic acid. Again on heating to 140 degrees Celsius. This compound again on heating to 140 degrees Celsius. We will be having HiO3. 2 molecules of HiO3. This is iodic acid. HiO3, 2 molecules. This is iodic acid plus oxygen. Okay. So this is a series of reactions, and at the start we will be using this para periodic acid. Para periodic acid. Then on heating, it will be giving dimesoperiodic acid. Again, it will be giving metaperiodic acid. Then will be giving iodic acid. Okay. Then the next one, this some of the uses of this particular compound, H5IO6. Okay, that is para periodic acid. It is a powerful oxidizing agent. It's a powerful oxidizing agent. That is the first use. Then it oxidizes Mn2 plus salts. Okay, it oxidizes Mn2 plus to permanganates. Oxidizes Mn2 plus to permanganates. Then the next one, it liberates iodine from potassium iodide. Third one, liberates iodine from potassium iodide solution in neutral or acidic medium. In neutral or acidic medium. Okay, it liberates iodine from potassium iodide in neutral or acidic medium, and also the reaction is also given in your textbook, that is H5IO6 plus 7 Ki potassium iodide plus 7 HCl giving 4I2. So this iodine it is liberated. So this potassium iodide it is oxidized to iodine, isn't it? Plus 7 KCl plus 6H2O. Okay. So this is the reaction. So uses it is very good oxidizing agent. Okay. So these are some of the reactions of para-periodic acid. I hope this type of portion it is over. Then we have to go through the next topic, that is allotropism, that we can see in our next session. So up to this I will be putting questions for your internal examinations. Okay. Up to this portion you will be having questions. Okay. For internal exam. This is the portions for internal exam, that is up to periodic acid. What I had taught up to this portion, I will be putting questions. Okay. So please study well. Don't waste your time while at home. Thank you and have a nice day.